Virginia has thousands of historic sites with boxwoods in their gardens, and tens of thousands of private homes feature these very popular shrubs. But in 2011, the State Department of Agriculture and Cooperative Extension started hearing stories about a new plant disease that defoliates and can kill boxwoods. So far, there's no cure, and people who have the disease in their landscape had no clue it was there.
This is pretty typical of a homeowner situation. A landscaper unknowingly buys some plant material, some nursery stock, brings it in to the site, plants it on site. It may not even show any symptoms because there's certain cultivars of Asian varieties of boxwood that do not show much symptoms compared to some of our older cultivars like the English and the American boxwood.
Norman Dart with the State Agriculture Department says the disease has only been found in a few locations so far, mostly in commercial nurseries in southwest Virginia. Ironically, it's not the new boxwood plants that show symptoms, but those that could date back for hundreds of years.
My clues that I had any issue were on my old box bushes that have been there for over 50 years. And to think that the new ones that look fine are the culprit for why my old ones look awful is very counterintuitive.
Louise Reed is one of the few unlucky homeowners to have identified Boxwood Blight in the shrubs that have surrounded her home in the city of Richmond. In 2013, she bought some replacement boxwoods and soon found the disease was spreading by air to plants all around her property and neighbors. Many of her neighbors are family, and she warned them of the disease and how quickly it can spread through contact with infected leaves and spores.
I felt like a leper because they didn't feel comfortable coming on my property because I told them about it and because I kind of didn't want them to spread it. So it was a mutual situation. And it turns out, in fact, one of my adjacent neighbors did end up having it and did not know it until I brought up the issue. And it was not from me. They realized that they themselves were a victim of the same situation I was.
Dart says spraying for boxwood blight is very expensive, and not enough research has been done to determine which chemicals work best, if any. There's also the problem of correctly diagnosing the disease.
One, you get the defoliation. A lot of other boxwood ailments, the branch may die for some reason, but the leaves will turn a straw colored, will turn into kind of a straw colored, and they'll just stay on there and they won't fall off. With boxwood blight, it defoliates. And then the second thing, which is even a better indicator, is the streaking, the dark streaking on the stems.
Dart says head landscapers at historic sites like Colonial Williamsburg and Mount Vernon are taking steps to prevent introducing the disease to their properties. But they do this full time. The best protection the average homeowner has, Dart says, is to make sure everyone involved in raising your new boxwood plants has participated in Virginia's Boxwood Blight Cleanliness Program.
They have to follow certain strict sanitary guidelines and make sure they're only using disease-free stock to begin with that's either from on-site or put through, stringent testing.
A 2007 study of the green industry in Virginia found that woody plants like boxwoods are top sellers, accounting for more than half of all nursery sales and almost $400 million in gross receipts. Researchers at Virginia Tech are currently trying to develop treatment recommendations. In Richmond, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde.